Welcome to this quiet and emotional story. This is the journey of Emma, a woman who once believed love would fix everything, but learned that peace begins from within. If you've ever felt lost, if you've ever waited for someone who didn't show up, this story is for you. My name is Emma. I am 29 years old. I live in a quiet area outside New York City. There are trees, small stores, and kind neighbors. Every day, I take the bus to work. I work in a bank near the train station. It is not a big bank, but many people come each day. I sit at the front desk. My job is simple. I say hello to customers. I help them fill out forms. I give them information. Most days are the same. People come in. People leave. Some are friendly. Some are in a rush. I always smile. I am not married. Some people ask me why. I just say I enjoy being single. Most of my friends are married now. Some have kids. But I don't feel sad. I feel okay. One day, a man came to my desk. He gave me some papers and smiled. Then he asked, "Are you married?" I was surprised. I knew who he was. His name was Paul. He is my friend Clara's cousin. I knew he had a wife. I smiled and said, "No, I'm single." He started to say something else, but I added quickly, "I like being single. It's better for me." He didn't say more. He just smiled and left. After he left, I thought about it. Why do people always ask women this question? I don't ask people why they are married. So why ask me why I am not? I looked around the office. Most of my co-workers were women. Some were older, some were young and recently married. All the men were married too, except one. His name was Daniel. He worked in the loan department. He is 37 years old. He joined the bank last year. He is smart and friendly. He helps people. He jokes during lunch. He always says good morning with a big smile. Daniel doesn't wear a wedding ring. People say he is single. Some women in the office like him. He is tall and strong. He wears nice shirts and clean shoes. He owns a small house nearby, but he is still paying for it. Sometimes we talked in the break room. We only talked about simple things like coffee, weather, or news. But he always listened. That made me feel nice. Not many people listen carefully these days. One Friday, we had to stay late. A customer made a mistake on a loan form. I stayed to fix it. Daniel came to help. The office was quiet. Most people had already left. The lights were low. We sat side by side checking papers. After some time, he said, "Emma, can I tell you something?" I looked at him. "Sure," I said. "I have a problem," he said. I waited. I find it hard to stay loyal in relationships. I didn't understand. "What do you mean?" He looked down. "When I'm with someone, I still talk to other women. I don't know why. I just do." I was shocked. I didn't know what to say. I felt cold. "Don't you care about the person you're with?" I asked. "I do," he said. "But after some time, I get bored. I always want something new." I looked away. Then I said, "That's not right. If you're in a relationship, you should care only about that person. It's not fair to hurt them." He looked at me and spoke softly. "I know, but it's hard for me to change." We sat in silence. I looked out the window. It was already dark. The street was empty. The bus stop was quiet. I didn't know what to say. Part of me felt bad for him. Another part of me felt upset. I wanted to help, but I didn't know how. Later that week, I asked more. I said, "You said you had a relationship before. What happened?" He said, "I lived with a woman named Linda. She was 46 years old. She had 4 children. 4 kids? I asked. Yes, he said. 3 kids with one man and 1 with another. But we didn't have children together. How long were you together? I asked. 10 years, he said. We even bought a house together. Did she leave you? I asked. Yes, he said. She sold her part of the house and left. Why did she leave? I asked. He didn't answer. Then I asked slowly, was it because you talked to other women? He looked at me. His eyes were wide. He didn't say anything. But I could see the truth in his face. That was the reason. She left because he broke her trust. I felt something inside me go cold. I said softly, "You hurt her. You only thought about yourself." He looked away and said nothing. After that, things changed. He stopped talking to me. He walked past my desk and didn't say hello. He asked other people for help. I felt sad. I didn't try to talk to him again. I thought maybe he needed time. But I also felt he didn't want to change. He didn't want to hear the truth. Before I tell the rest of my story, I want to ask you something. Where are you listening from? It gives me hope to know someone is hearing my story. Someone who understands. Please tell me in the comments. I would really like to know. After that day, everything changed at work. Daniel didn't speak to me anymore. He used to smile. He used to ask how my day was. Now he walked past me like I wasn't there. He talked to other people. He laughed with them. But when I walked into the room, he became quiet. It felt strange. I had done nothing wrong. I only told him the truth. Maybe the truth made him feel bad. Maybe he didn't want to hear it. Or maybe he just wanted people who stay silent and never speak up. At first, I felt sad. I enjoyed talking to him. I thought we were friends. But now I saw him in a new way. He didn't want to change. He didn't care how others felt. He only thought about himself. Weeks passed. Spring turned into summer. The days became longer. The sun was warm. At work, everything stayed the same. I sat at my desk, helped customers, and smiled. But inside, I felt tired. One afternoon, Clara, my old friend, came to the bank. She hugged me and said, "Let's have lunch this weekend." I smiled and said, "Yes, I'd like that." We met at a small cafe on Saturday. The sun was shining. We sat outside and ordered sandwiches and iced tea. We talked about work, books, and old times. Then Clara asked, "Do you know Daniel?" I froze for a moment. "Yes," I said slowly. "He works with me." She laughed. "I met him at a birthday party last week. He was with a woman. I think she's his girlfriend now." "Oh," I said. I didn't know what else to say. "She's very pretty," Clara added. "Young too, maybe 24 or 25. I looked down at my glass. I didn't say anything. Clara looked at me. "Did you like him?" I was quiet. Then I said, "I thought he was a good person, but now I don't think that anymore." I didn't tell Clara everything. I didn't talk about what he said or how he acted. It felt too heavy. I didn't want to speak about him anymore. But after lunch, I kept thinking, why do some people act kind when they are not? Why do they hide their true selves? Why do they hurt others and walk away like nothing happened? One morning at work, I saw Daniel outside the building with his new girlfriend. She wore a red dress and held his hand. He looked happy. Later, when he walked past me, I asked, "Is that your girlfriend?" He smiled. "Yes. Is she nice?" I asked. "She's very nice," he answered. I looked at him and asked, "Will you treat her the same way you treated the others?" His smile faded. He didn't answer, but his eyes changed. Maybe he was angry. Maybe he felt judged. Maybe he didn't care at all. I felt sad. Not because I loved him, I didn't. But I felt sad for the girl. She didn't know the truth. She only saw the good side of him, the smile, the jokes, the helpful way. She didn't see the other side, the cold and selfish side. I wanted to tell her. I wanted to warn her. But I didn't. It wasn't my place. People have to learn by themselves. After that day, I stopped thinking about Daniel. I focused on myself. I started reading more. I joined a painting class on Saturdays. I visited my parents every Sunday. I took long walks after work. I listened to music and cooked new food. I felt better. I felt free. One Friday evening, my manager asked me to help with a new project. It was about helping young people open their first bank accounts. I worked with a small team. One of them was a man named Josh. He was 32. He was quiet and kind. He listened more than he talked. He liked numbers and tea. He was not like Daniel. He didn't try to impress anyone. He was just himself. We worked together for 3 weeks. Sometimes we talked about simple things. He asked, "Do you like cats or dogs?" I said, "Cats. I have one named Momo." He smiled. "That's a cute name." One day he brought me a small cup of green tea. "You always drink coffee," he said. "Try this instead." I laughed. "Okay, I tried it. It was nice." He smiled. "See? Not everything new is bad." I looked at him. That sentence stayed in my heart. Not everything new is bad. It made me think. Maybe not all men are like Daniel. Maybe some people are honest. Maybe some really care. But I also understood something else. I had changed. I was not the same Emma anymore. I used to wish someone would come and make me feel special. Now I wanted to make myself feel special. I liked my own company. I liked my tea, my music, my quiet life. I didn't want drama. I didn't want lies. I didn't want someone who smiled but didn't mean it. The days passed slowly. It was early autumn. The trees were orange and yellow. The air felt cool in the morning. People wore jackets. School buses came back. Everything felt calm and peaceful. At work, things were better. The project with Josh ended, but we still talked. One day, he said, "It's nice working with someone who thinks before they speak." I smiled. It was a small compliment, but it meant a lot to me. Daniel still worked at the bank. He didn't speak to me anymore. We were just co-workers now. When I saw him, I didn't feel sad or angry. I felt nothing, just quiet. One afternoon, I saw Daniel and his girlfriend again. This time, they were not smiling. They were standing near the parking lot, arguing. I couldn't hear what they said, but I saw her face. She looked hurt. He looked tired. I turned away and walked on. That evening, I sat in my small apartment. I made tea. Momo, my cat, jumped into my lap. I looked out the window and watched the wind move through the trees. I felt calm inside. I thought about the past year. Many things had changed, not in the world around me, but inside my heart. I used to believe love could fix everything. I thought if I found the right person, life would be better. But now I understood something different. Peace comes when you stop holding on to the wrong things. I didn't want to be with someone who made me feel less. I didn't want someone who looked at others while holding my hand. I wanted honesty, care, and patience. And if I didn't find those in someone else, that was okay, because I had already found them in myself. One Sunday, I visited my parents. They lived only 20 minutes away. My mom made warm soup. My dad sat and read the newspaper. We sat together on the porch. My mom asked, "Are you seeing anyone now?" I smiled and said, No, Mom. She looked at me kindly and said, "Are you happy?" I looked up at the trees, then at the sky. "Yes," I said. "I am happy." She held my hand and said, "You are strong. Never forget that." I didn't say anything. I just smiled. My heart felt full. The next week, Clara called me. She said, "Emma, do you want to go to the city this weekend?" I said, "Sure." We took the train to Manhattan. We walked around Central Park. We bought coffee from a cart. We took photos and laughed. I felt young again. Clara looked at me and said, "You look good, like something heavy is gone." I said, "I feel light, like I've let something go." That night, I went home and looked in the mirror. I saw a woman who learned to enjoy her own company. I saw someone who no longer chased love from someone who didn't love her back. I saw someone who had chosen peace. A few weeks later, Josh asked me to go to a museum. He said, "There's a new art show. Want to come?" I said, "Yes." We spent 2 hours looking at paintings and talking. He didn't try to be someone else. He didn't try to impress me. He was just kind. He listened. He laughed softly. He asked me about my cat again. When we left the museum, the sun was setting. He said, "Emma, you're different. You seem calm. You know what you want." I smiled and said, "It took time to learn." He didn't try to hold my hand. He didn't talk about love. And I liked that. It felt easy. That night, I wrote in my notebook, "I'm not waiting anymore. I'm not hoping someone will change. I'm not afraid to be alone. I am free. Maybe one day I'll meet someone who shares this peace. Maybe I won't. But I know now I'll be okay." The girl who waited for someone to be honest has become the woman who is honest with herself. And that is enough. Thank you for listening to my story. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you find your own peace too. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and share it with someone who needs it. Don't forget to subscribe for more soft, emotional, and inspiring stories. And tell us in the comments, where are you listening from? We'd love to hear from you.